4 months later, welcome back to the Timberborn Infinite Power series. This play file is like a million years behind where the actual game is, and I don't want to leave this series hanging. I want to get it done, so we are going to like anime time skip this crap. Like, we're gonna jump through everything. I'm just gonna say what happens. I'm not even gonna bother importing my original audio. We're gonna get like 2-3 episodes to get until I think like cycle 60 or something. We're currently at cycle 15. Let's jump into it. Good luck. Have fun. For me, I guess. Okay. So first, I realized that all of my distribution guys from my scrapping district were doing absolutely nothing. And turns out I had to set distribution limits. Then I set up the irrigation system for the colony that would eventually build the infinite power machine. I blast all irrigation canals down 2 blocks, because 2 blocks of water will survive the droughts in hard mode. Finally, I blast into this little canyon so that the irrigation canal has a place to drain and it won't just flood everything I'm trying to irrigate. Then apparently my district couldn't reach those TNTs, so instead of doing something complicated, I just moved the district center. And then I finally got to blow up all that TNT. Then I filled the canal with double platforms so that the ground is full of water, but the beavers can still walk over it. Then I rebuilt the scrapping district and its migration and its distribution limits, and I honestly have no idea why. Then here I gave our main district more storage for explosives, and here I'm adding a staircase up to where the infinite power machine will eventually be. Next, using my newly irrigated land, I started setting up infrastructure for the construction district, starting with its tree farm. You may notice that I'm leaving all these buildings without a path. That is so that they don't count as being part of the original district, so when I connect them, they'll only be part of the new district. And here I reworked all of the distribution limits for the scrapping district because I scrolled over it and noticed that all of my beavers were dying of thirst. And sure enough, after reducing all of the other resources to a reasonable amount, the first thing carried over was in fact the water they desperately needed. Checked back a bit later, and finally this district is set up properly to just be running fully autonomously, gathering scraps and being delivered food and water. Or at least I say that now while editing, but then I find a clip of me nervously checking through the update log to see if there were any deaths. And here I'm lining the edge of the river with TNT, because holding just a little bit of water is the easiest way to keep the land irrigated so that they can keep farming throughout droughts. Then apparently I decided to make a giant dam, and I honestly can't tell you why. All of the water that needs to be held irrigated looks like it is held irrigated, so I'm not sure what this accomplishes. I'm realizing now it might be worth watching a few minutes ahead to see what's going on. It's so that they can pump water, so that the next district will have their own water, because it just makes sense, really. And here I connected one of the farmhouses so that I could actually start planting crops, so when I do move beavers in, they won't all have to wait for crops to grow and starve to death. And then I kickstarted the tree farm as well. And we actually popped these TNT just in time to see the river all evaporate, but have those little holes keep the ground irrigated. Here I extend the irrigation canal so I can farm a few more trees. Hey look, I'm finally building the actual district. Then I set up another irrigation canal for the main district so that I can set up a pine tree farm so I can get oak resin. No, pine resin. Pine sap? Pine something. Pine resin, I believe, is the right thing for treated planks. Then I apparently rebuilt this staircase to have cyclical paths. And here I'm going way overboard with TNT. Those few I already placed would have been enough. Adding an additional water pump is not very exciting, but I do find it quite entertaining that I'm on cycle 17 and I'm just now unlocking the triple platform. And here I added berries to the new colony. Oh, this would be a good one. Oh, I'm framing it. I moved the camera to see it. Okay. I'm trying to be cinematic, clearly. Nice. Top notch. And here we're setting up tapping. Then finishing up the next district's water canals. Here, and I don't really know why. Irrigation TNT. And then I went back and expanded housing in District 1, because apparently I've got a ton of homeless beavers. And here I'm telling the guy to plant all the pine trees for the tapping section, even though he still has to wait like 14 days to be able to plant them anyway. I had also placed rooftops on top of the new houses, but didn't actually place any scaffolding for the beavers to be able to reach it. Then I added a bunch of drop-off points to the new district, and set them all to metal blocks. This district will be farming its own trees, but doesn't have any access to metal, so I have to ship those in. Then, with 6 days remaining on this drought, I finally named the district that will build the infinite power machine. And then with the drought finally ending, it's time to see if I did all my hydro engineering correctly. I'm just gonna let this part play because I cameraed it really weird. But check this out. Oh, water. Water. And then I zoom in. And sure enough, it's weirdly turning on and off, but there's water in our canal, so it is slowly filling up. I think. And then I zoom backwards, showing the weird underside of Timberborn. And we look over here, and that's filling up as well. So I believe next I'm going to move all the guys into the new district, or properly separate the districts, move all the guys in, and we're good to go. Scratch that. I guess I was nervous about how slowly the canal was filling up, so I built floodgates here so I can force the water to only go that way if I need to. Also, I don't have the original audio for this anymore, but the fact that I just got a 3-day warning means I only had 6 days of flowing water to see if that canal would even properly support the next district. And just gonna say, having only 6 days of flowing water to test a very complex water system is probably the source of frustration for this entire run. You'll see a lot more of that. And here I needlessly changed this dam into a levee, and subsequently flood the entire world. Yeah, just gonna put that back how it was. With that crisis averted, I begin migrating guys over to the new district. Set up log storage right next to where the infinite power machine will eventually go. And started clearing trees, since it would be 30 days for the actual farmed trees to grow. And set up storage for all the various foods. And here I'm giving the new district the rest of its food infrastructure. And add some building huts, because we got a lot to build. We quickly check on our scrapping district, and they are running flawlessly autonomously. And the next cycle starts, so obviously we have to check on our water system again. Turns out I forgot to lower the gates, so I was flooding the new district, but it's fine, it fixes as soon as I put the gates down. Then I observed some super weird water oscillation happening through all the various exits for the water at the center of the map. So I decided to pipe the water from this canal into the previous chamber and see if that would solve the problem. And here I divert all of the water from the second water source into my main water system, and surely I account for it causing potential flooding, right? Right? Hopefully? Maybe? Then I made everywhere pathable so that I could have the beavers remove all of the trees. Not even collect them, just delete them. You're not allowed to build stuff unless you clear out all natural resources. Even the path that will be built here is really just to delete trees at the bottom. And with the Tapper Shack now finally in full swing, we're ready to add our treated plank factory. Okay, I'm going to cut here for that episode. This was an entire play session, like many hours of footage, cut into about 10 minutes. I think I'll do the same for the next couple play sessions until I'm back to where that file actually is, so I can finally finish it. If you didn't like this format, let me know in the comments. If you did like this format, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.